We'll just wait for 2-3 minutes. Otherwise, you can start Kirtan. Is it okay?
Okay, Mataji. Yeah, okay, Mataji.
We'll just wait for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Let others join. Otherwise, we'll do Kirtan, then we'll start the class.
Okay, Mataji.
Yes.
Hare.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी।
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
प्रणाम माता जी।
Hare Krishna, Mataji. May I start with the Kirtan?
Yes, Mataji.
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, everybody. I welcome you for today's session. I think we will start with prayers. Till that time, others will also join. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, I seek blessings from all of you so that
Hare.
whatever I speak is in the parampara and for the pleasure of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Those who can switch on their cameras, please switch on.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Rohini Mataji, very good to see you. After a long time.
Yes, Mataji, in the evening class after a long time.
Yes, evening class after a long time, right?
Yeah. I usually hear on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I'm feeling good that you are you have joined Zoom. Okay. Yes, anybody would like to share some points from last class?
I'll try, Mataji. Yesterday was very interesting class
Okay.
by
Yes, Mataji.
SRDT Mataji. I'll just say 2-3 points, then others can carry on.
Who?
SRDT Mataji, I don't know her full name.
Okay. Okay.
Shubhangi Mataji, she's in
Shubhangi
Dubai.
Radhika.
Yeah,
Shubhangi
she,
Radhika is
yeah,
his
yeah,
name.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
We saw very nice points, Mataji. We saw about the soul, intelligence, and mind, how intelligence should direct the mind. And she saw the analogy of the individual and the passenger, which is given in the 6th chapter, Bhagavad Gita 34, and how to control the mind by suitable practice and detachment. And we also saw about regular hearing of the pastimes of Krishna, Shravanam, which leads to Kirtanam, glorifying the Lord, and Smaranam, remembrance. And also, like, we saw so many things, Mataji, like, automatically detachment comes when we, what to say, simply by following the austerities, there is no use. Mataji was explaining. We need to, nama japa, nama, this thing is very important. Constantly engaging in the glory names of
Remembering,
Vasudeva.
yes.
Yeah. And we saw all that. And 24 hours have to absorb in Krishna, because of late, whatever we do, chanting, everything is very, very, not that much focused. And we tend to divert. So many distractions are there.
Correct.
So unless we are constantly absorbed 24 hours in Krishna consciousness, it's very difficult for us to progress in the devotional service. And we saw, like, we have to be, our chanting should be like crying baby. Our calling should be like, totally, it should come from the heart. Only then the taste will develop. And Mataji was explaining very well. Nice. And only solution for all these is Vaishnava Seva, Otherwise, it's very difficult without the association, and hearing from the pure souls and regularly reading the Prabhupada stories and thoughts, everything, then we can easily reach the highest destination. Mataji was explaining. And also how Ajamil example she was giving, unconsciously chanting the name of his son Narayana, how he attained the perfection of life. And nectar of instruction verses, we saw what we should do and what we should not do. All that we saw points. That utsahan nischayat dhairya tat karma pravartanat sangatyagats tovrityehe, that verse we saw to advance the spiritual life. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes, thank you so much, Mataji. Anybody else wants to share something? Mataji always.
Mataji,
Nice
yesterday
review.
we saw about Prithu Maharaj's austerity in Tapovana, and he is actually doing pranayama right now. This pranayama means to control the breath. This breath control actually leads to control of mind and senses. Now, after practicing this, he has perfected in all these things, and he started getting detached from all the material desires. And now he is away from fruitive activities. That is what we saw in last class.
Correct. Yes, thank you so much. So let us start with today's session. I will just share the screen. Today we are starting with shloka number 11, 4.23.11. As you said, we are in this chapter of Maharaj Prithu's going back home. And as Mataji said, Prithu Maharaj, he enthroned his son, and he left his kingdom, and now he has entered the forest, and as Mataji was saying, he performed severe austerities, right? And today we'll continue with that, how he destroys his subtle body, and then how he gives up his gross body. Those verses we are going to cover today. Okay, so who wants to recite? Yes.
Yes, Mataji. Repeat after you or recite, Mataji?
If you are able to, you can recite.
Okay. Sloka 4.23.11. Pronounce, Mataji.
Yes.
Tasya naya bhagavatah parikarma shuddha sattvatmanastadanu samsmarananupurtya jnanam virakti mad abhunnichitena ena chide chicheda samshaya padam nija jiva kosham. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Mataji, the purport is big, so okay. I would like to...
Only the translation and first paragraph I'll read?
Yes, translation and first paragraph. Yes, you can read.
Sure, ma'am. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. By regularly discharging the devotional service, Prithu Maharaja became transcendental in mind and could therefore constantly think of the lotus feet of the Lord. Because of this, he became completely detached and attained perfect knowledge by which he could transcend all the doubts. Thus, he was freed from the clutches of the false ego and the material conception of life. Purport. In the Narada Pancharatra, devotional service to the Lord is likened unto a queen. When a queen gives an audience, many maidservants follow her. The maidservants of devotional service are material opulence, liberation, and mystic powers. The karmis are very much attached to material enjoyment. The jnanis are very anxious to become freed from the material clutches, and the yogis are very fond of attaining the 8 kinds of mystic perfection. From the Narada Pancharatra, we understand that if one attains the stage of pure devotional service, He also attains all the opulences derived from fruitive activities, empiric philosophical speculation, and mystic yogic practice. Srila Bilvamangala Thakura therefore prayed in his Krishna Karanamrita, "My dear Lord, if I have unflinching devotion to you, you become manifest before me personally, and the results of fruitive activity and empiric philosophical speculation, namely religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation, become like personal attendants and remain standing before me as if awaiting my order." The idea here is that the jnanis, by culture of Brahma Vidya, spiritual knowledge, struggle very hard to get out of the clutches of material nature, but a devotee, by dint of his advancement in devotional service, automatically becomes detached from his material body. When the devotee's spiritual body begins to manifest, he actually enters into his activities in transcendental life. Thank you, Mandir.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Can somebody read the next?
May I continue, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
At present, we have contacted a material body, material mind, and material intelligence. But when we become free from these material conditions, our spiritual body, spiritual mind, and spiritual intelligence become manifest. In that transcendental state, a devotee attains all the benefits of karma, jnana, and yoga. Although he never engages in fruitive activities or empiric speculation to attain mystic powers, automatically mystic powers appears in his service. A devotee does not want any kind of material opulence, but such opulence appears before him automatically. He does not have to endeavor for it. Because of his devotional service, he automatically becomes Brahma Bhuta, as stated before as stated before, this is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 14.26. Mamchayo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatitaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who is engaged in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. Because of his regular discharge of devotional service, a devotee attains the transcendental stage of life. Since his mind is transcendently situated, he cannot think of anything but the lotus feet of the Lord. This is the meaning of the word samasmarana anupurtya. By constantly thinking of lotus feet of the Lord, the devotee immediately becomes situated in the Suddha Sattva. Suddha Sattva refers to the platform which is above the modes of material nature, including the modes of goodness. In the material world, the mode of goodness is considered to be representative of highest perfection, but one has to transcend this mode and come to the stage of Suddha Sattva or pure goodness, where three qualities of material nature cannot act. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Can somebody read the last now?
Shall I read, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura gives the following example. If one has strong digestive power, after eating, he automatically lights a fire within his stomach to digest everything and does not need to take medicine to aid his digestion. Similarly, the fire of devotional service is so strong that a devotee does not need to act separately to attain perfect knowledge or detachment from material attractions. A jnani may become detached from material attractions by prolonged discussions on subjects of knowledge and may in this way finally come to the Brahma Bhuta stage. But a devotee does not have to undergo so much trouble. By virtue of his devotional service, he attains the Brahma Bhuta stage without a doubt. The yogis and jnanis are always doubtful about their constitutional position. Therefore, they mistakenly think of becoming one with the Supreme. However, a devotee's relationship with the Supreme becomes manifest beyond all doubt, and he immediately understands that his position is that of eternal servant of the Lord. Jnanis and yogis without devotion may think themselves liberated, but actually their intelligence is not as pure as that of a devotee. In other words, the jnanis and yogis cannot become factually liberated unless they become elevated to the position of devotees. आरुह्य कृच्छ्रेण परम पदम तथा पतन्ति अधो अनादृत युष्मद् अंग्रयः. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.2.32. The jnanis and yogis may rise to the highest position, Brahman realization, but because of their lack of devotion unto the lotus feet of the Lord, they again fall down into the material nature. Therefore, jnana and yoga should not be accepted as the real process for liberation. By discharging devotional service, Maharaja Prithu automatically transcended all these positions. Since Maharaja Prithu was a Satyavesha incarnation of the Supreme Lord, he did not have to act in any way to attain liberation. He came from the Vaikuntha world or spiritual sky in order to execute the will of the Supreme Lord on earth. Consequently, he was to return home back to Godhead without having to execute jnana, yoga, or karma. Although Prithu Maharaj was eternally a pure devotee of the Lord, he nonetheless adopted the process of devotional service in order to teach the people in general the proper process for executing the duties of life and ultimately returning home back to Godhead. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So basically, devotional service, importance of devotional service is emphasized here. The first point we can see is a devotee. The devotees, they never want opulences, but the opulences appear before them automatically, right? So devotees are not at all interested in liberation or material opulences or yogic siddhis, but they automatically come before them. The devotee never desires liberation in impersonal Brahman. Why? Because there is no opportunity to render service to the Lord. There is no opportunity to associate with the devotees. There is no opportunity to discuss Krishna Katha or to see the form of the Lord. And therefore, devotee is never interested in that. And here, but all these things come to them automatically. Prabhupada gives a beautiful example of queen, correct? So queen has maid servants, and all these things, opulence, liberation, and mystic powers, they are like maid servants. And who is the queen? Devotional service. Bhakti is the queen of that. So all they automatically follow her, because bhakti includes everything, but following karma yoga or jnana yoga or the path of ashtanga yoga, correct? Mystic path of yoga, one may not reach the ultimate goal of life, correct? They are not complete in themselves. They need to be connected to the bhakti, then only they can attain the ultimate goal of life, correct? So all these paths, they are incomplete without bhakti, but bhakti is ultimate goal of life, devotional service, right? Because it includes all of them. And then Prithu Maharaj, he is Shaktavesh avatar of the Lord, right? So yes, and he came to the platform of Shuddha Sattva, correct? So we know that three platforms: the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So this Shuddha Sattva is above the mode of goodness. Pure devotees, they attain that platform, and then they can go back home, back to Godhead, correct? In the mode of goodness also, there is a fear of getting proud because of knowledge and happiness. Okay, those are the symptoms of mode of goodness. We have learned in Bhagavad Gita chapter number 14 that the mode of goodness is characterized by happiness and knowledge. So the people may become proud of knowledge. The jnanis, that is the example of mode of goodness. Jnanis, they become proud of their knowledge. Like we know the example of Keshav Kashmiri, correct? Lord Chaitanya, in Chaitanya Leela, Keshav Kashmiri, he was a great scholarly Pandit, and he was very proud of his knowledge, and he challenged Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He challenged him for a debate, and obviously Chaitanya Mahaprabhu defeated him. But Jnanis, they have this tendency that they become proud of their knowledge, correct? So Prithu Maharaj, he attained the stage of Shuddha Sattva. And one more point here is this yogis and jnanis, they are doubtful about their constitutional position, correct? But devotees, they have clear understanding that what is their constitutional position.
Jivere swarupa hoy Krishnera
Krishnera
Nityadas.
Nityadas. So they don't have any doubt about this, and therefore Prithu Maharaj was continuously remembering the Lord, and like a chatak bird, he takes only rainwater. Correct. He doesn't go for any other source of water. So similarly, Prithu Maharaj, similarly devotees practicing bhakti, a devotee practices bhakti like a chatak bird. He only takes the sweetness of bhakti alone, and he doesn't accept or he doesn't go to any other path. Okay. Somebody is.
Divya Desai Mataji, I
Yeah,
think
Divya
something is
Mataji.
happening on the screen.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just scrolling up and down. No?
Okay. So they don't want liberation, mystic siddhis. Even though it is said that they all come and with folded hands, they are standing in front of the devotees, but the devotees, they are not at all interested in all these things. And one last point is Prithu Maharaj, mentioned in the last portion of the purport, that he was, as I said, he was Shaktiavish avatar of the Lord. And so actually he need not do all these things because he is already avatar of incarnation of the Lord. And so he need not perform all these things, no austerities, and he is leaving his material, he is destroying his subtle body and gross body. So he need not do all these things, but he is doing just to set an example before us. Generally it happens that the devotees, they are humble, and because of that humility, Prithu Maharaj is considering himself as an ordinary person, correct? And so he is thinking that this material body, or this my karmas, they are separating me from the spiritual, from going to the spiritual world, or they are separating me from the Supreme Lord. And so because of that intense desire to unite with the Supreme Lord, that his great eagerness, he could not tolerate the separation from the Lord. And so he he was thinking that because I have this material body, I'm suffering. So he decided that I will leave this body, correct? So actually it is out of his humility and out of his great eagerness to go back to Godhead, correct? So though the devotees are actually liberated, but they think themselves as conditioned. And the jnanis and yogis, they are not actually liberated, but they think themselves as liberated. But they are conditioned in this material world only, right? And one more thing mentioned in the purport is Yeah. They yes, here. They should not be because of lack of devotion unto the jnanis and yogis may rise to the highest position, but because of their lack of devotion unto the lotus feet of the Lord, they again fall into this material nature. So, taking shelter, devotees always aspire for taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. And that is so important, taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. So lotus feet, because the lotus feet of the Lord, they are the source of mercy. You know, they are the source of all knowledge. They are all holy tirthas. They take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. And it is said that this material existence, it becomes like the hoof of a calf, right? So when we take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Otherwise, for conditioned souls like us, it is not at all possible on our no our strength. It is not at all possible for us to cross this ocean of material existence. But when we surrender ourselves, when we take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, it becomes just like a hoof of a calf. Correct? So it becomes so easy to cross over that ocean only when we take shelter, when we surrender. And this, in the 11th canto, it is compared that Krishna's lotus feet, they are like a fiery comet. Okay. So it burns all material desires. They are like umbrella. Okay. Not just umbrella, but nectar spraying umbrella, which, which, which frees us from the miseries or all miseries of life. Correct? We have three taps we have, correct? Adi Bhautik, Adi Atmik, Adi Daivik, correct? So it frees us from all those miseries. And Prabhupada gives nice example in the purport, like digestive power. Bhakti is like strong digestive power. Correct? It can give everything. So we don't need to go to do anything else but only bhakti, and that we have to do properly. That is, we have to read, we have to hear, and we have to continuously remember the personality of Godhead constantly. As Mataji, Sindhu Mataji was sharing that yesterday, Mataji shared beautifully that how we should 24 hours we should try to remember Krishna. So when we take to this process, why we take to the process of bhakti to awaken within our hearts the desire to hear and chant the glories of the Lord. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives these three important things. Mataji mentioned that Namaruchi, Vaishnav Seva, and Jivadaya. Correct? So we have to chant the names of the Lord. Then we have to do Vaishnav Seva, serving the devotees of the Lord. When we serve the devotees, pure devotees of the Lord, uh, वासुदेव कथारुचि शुश्रूषो श्रद्धानस्य वासुदेव कथारुचि स्यान् महत् सेवया विप्रा पुण्यतीर्थ निषेवणात्. So that ruchi for Vasudev Katha, it arises in our hearts, correct? So that is, and Jivadaya, correct? So Jivadaya is spreading the Krishna consciousness movement, giving this knowledge of Krishna to all living entities, correct? So this is the essence of a practice of Bhakti Yoga, correct? All these things are meant for purifying our heart so that we are more and more attached to hear and chant glories of the Lord. And ultimately, we know the ultimate goal of our life is go back home, back to Godhead. Right? So let's go to the next shloka. Yes. Who wants to recite?
Chalo Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
चिन्नान्य धीर दिगतात्म गतिर्निरीह स्तत्यजे अचिन्न दिधम वयुनेन येन तावन्न योग गति वीर्य वीर्यतिर प्रमथो यावद्गदाग्र जगतासु रतिं न कुर्यात्. Shall I read the translation, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. And you can read the first paragraph also, Mataji.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When he became completely free from the conception of bodily life, Maharaja Prithu realized Lord Krishna sitting in everyone's heart as the Paramatma. Being thus able to get all instructions from him, he gave up all other practices of yoga and jnana. He was not even interested in the perfection of the yoga and jnana systems, for he thoroughly realized that devotional service to Krishna is the ultimate goal of life, and unless the yogis and jnanis become attracted to Krishna Katha, narrations about Krishna, their illusion concerning existence can never be dispelled. Purport. As long as one is too much absorbed in the bodily conception of life, he becomes interested in many different processes of self-realization, such as the mystic yoga system or the system utilizing the speculative empiric methods. However, when one understands that the ultimate goal of life is to approach Krishna, he realizes Krishna within everyone's heart and therefore helps everyone who is interested in Krishna consciousness. Actually, the perfection of life depends on one's inclination in hear about Krishna. It is therefore mentioned in this verse, Yavad Gadagraja Katasu Rathim na Kuryat. Unless one becomes interested in Krishna in his pastimes and activities, there is no question of liberation by means of yoga practice or speculative knowledge. Hare Krishna Mataji,
Hare
pranams.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yes. Yes, somebody.
Mataji, may I?
Yes, Rohini.
Having attained to the stage of devotion, Maharaja Prithu became uninterested in the practices of jnana and yoga and abandoned them. This is a stage of pure devotional life as described by Rupa Goswami. Anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktir uttama. Real jnana means understanding that the living entity is the eternal servant of the Lord. This knowledge is attained after many, many births, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.19. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. In the Paramahamsa stage of life, one fully realizes Krishna as everything. Vasudeva sarvam iti, sa mahatma sudurlabha. When one understands fully that Krishna is everything and Krishna consciousness is the highest perfection of life, he becomes a Paramahamsa or Mahatma. Such a Mahatma or Paramahamsa is very rare to find. A Paramahamsa or pure devotee is never attracted by Hatha Yoga or speculative knowledge. He is simply interested in the unalloyed devotional service of the Lord. Sometimes one who was formerly addicted to these processes tries to perform devotional service and the jnana and yoga practices at the same time. But as soon as one comes to the unalloyed stage of devotional service, he is able to give up all other methods of self realization. In other words, when one firmly realizes Krishna as the supreme goal, he is no longer attracted by mystic yoga practice or the speculative empirical methods of knowledge. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the first statement Prabhupada says, as long as one is too much absorbed in the bodily conception of life, then he becomes interested in many different processes of self-realization, like karma yoga, jnana yoga, or dhyana yoga, ashtanga yoga, right? So because he has so many distractions, so he is attracted to so many things, like karmi, he has so many desires that he wants to go to higher planets, or he wants to enjoy sensual pleasures, or a jnani, he wants to become one with the Lord, or a yogi, Ashtanga yogi, he wants to attain Ashtasiddhis, correct? So therefore, if they are absorbed in bodily conception of life, then they have all these things in their mind. They want to have all these things. But when one understands that the ultimate goal is to approach Krishna, then he knows that Krishna is there in everyone's heart as Paramatma. Now, yes. And actually, the perfection of life depends on the inclination to hear about Krishna. This is a very important statement. It states the glories of hearing, right? So first, yeah. So all these other methods. Uh, uh, the shloka says that Prithu Maharaj, by the means of knowledge, he destroyed his subtle body first. Like it says, Chinna Anyadi. So he destroyed his subtle body, that is bodily conception, and then Adhigata Atmagati. Correct? So he understood that attaining loving devotional service, performing devotional service to the Lord, that is the ultimate goal of life. And then Gadagraja, correct? Gadagraja Kathasu Ratim, right? So Gadagraja, Gada is the name of brother of Krishna. Okay, Vasudev had 18 wives, and one brother of Krishna, his name is Gada. So Gada Graja means Gada's brother, that is Krishna. Krishna's Katha Ratim, correct? So Rati in Krishna Katha. So without Rati in Krishna Katha, one cannot attain the supreme goal of life. Correct? That Prithu Maharaj uh, he was not even interested in the perfection of yoga and jnana, for he thoroughly realized that devotional service to Krishna is the ultimate goal of life. And then Prabhupada also in the first canto, first chapter only, he says that Kaitava Dharma, right? So that is pretentious religions are kicked out right in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. Correct? Kaitava Dharma means those used for material things. Correct? Worshipping Lord for material things, that is pretentious or Kaitava Dharma or cheating religion. So what is the real religion? Devotional service to the Lord is the real religion, and that should be the ultimate goal of life. Huh? So dharma, artha, kama, moksha, they also they are also not perfect religion. Only devotional service is the perfect religion, correct? And because in all those, material contamination is still there, because it is said that niriha word is used here. That means desireless. But as we discussed just now, that karmis or jnanis or yogis, they cannot be desireless because they have some desires. They want to achieve something. Correct? Karmis, they want material opulences. They want to go to higher planets and enjoy there uh, unlimitedly. We know that, but Kshine Punya Marte Lokam Vishanti. They will come back as soon as their Punya is over. But they want to enjoy their yogis, they want yogic siddhis, they want mystic powers, and jnanis, they want to become one with the Lord. So they cannot be niriha. But actually, there is no happiness in these perfections. Huh? Um, So actual happiness is yogis, they attain siddhis. Okay. So the happiness is in displaying these perfections and impressing people. That is the real happiness. Suppose a yogi attains the siddhi of walking on water. Correct? So he will not go somewhere and he will walk on water. It is not like that. He would like to walk on water when hundreds of people are watching him. Correct? He no just he will not go to some secluded place and just because he has siddhi he will do like that. It is not like that. So that is the sense gratification. There is no desire to prove, there is only desire to prove oneself great, or they want to show off. That's why they want to attain these siddhi, yogic siddhis, these mystic powers. Then if a person is very rich, correct, he may not be really happy, but when he displays it to other people, correct, how many cars he has, how many bungalows he has, how opulently he lives, if he shows to the people, then he becomes more happy, because that gives him great satisfaction, that gives him that is actually sense gratification for him. Correct. So no there is for jnanis also, there is no happiness in merging in existence of God, but the prestige that they get by being one with the God, or when they declare that I am one with the God, that the prestige they get, that is their aim. Correct. So these people, they cannot become happy in this material world, because that is not the ultimate goal. So bhakti is the ultimate goal of life, and uh, bhakti actually includes all these things. Okay, so just yeah. So other paths will not give result till you develop taste for Krishna Katha, Gadagraja Katha Suratim. Unless and until you develop for Krishna, develop Rati or taste for Krishna Katha, the other paths will not give result. So recommendation is we have to give all the other paths. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita. So we have to take shelter. We have to surrender to the Lord. Then only we can reach our goal. So in Bhakti Yoga also we do karma. Correct. We do activities, because Prabhupada gives the definition of bhakti as devotional service. That means we have to act. It is not we have to sit idle. Correct. So that is how many activities? There are so many activities we do in devotional service, right? We do Mangalarti, we prepare bhoga, then we celebrate festivals, we decorate the deities, we stage dresses. Correct. So many activities, we are full busy. Then Jnana also, I mean, we do get Jnana. Correct. We try we have knowledge, but the knowledge is utilized for the service of Krishna. What knowledge do we get in Bhakti Yoga is our sambandha, abhideya and prayojan. What is our sambandha with the Lord, what is the process to follow to do that, and what is the ultimate goal, what is the prayojan of our life, that knowledge. So knowledge is also there, and yoga is also there, because we chant. Correct. And that requires concentration, attention. Correct. So bhakti includes all these things. So karma, jnana or yoga, um, Rupa Goswami's shloka is quoted, Anya Bhilashita Shunyam, Jnana Karmadi Anavrutam. So jnana and karma, they should not overpower uh, by our no, devotion to Krishna, they should not be overpowered by jnana or karma. That is tendency to cultivate knowledge or to do fruitive action. Jnana and karma should be favorable for devotion, right? So that is one point. And the other important point is perfection of life depends on one's inclination to hear about Krishna. So hearing, we know that most important process. By hearing only, so many examples are there, and by hearing only, love of God, develops in our heart. Correct? By hearing from pure devotees of the Lord, we develop a taste for that, and then gradually love of God develops. So we know that examples from Shastras, that Rukmini, she has not she had not seen Krishna, she had only heard about Krishna, and she developed love for the Lord, hearing his glories, right? The Brahman Patnis, correct? The wives of Brahmanas, they had never seen Krishna, but only by hearing, they were so much affectionate towards Krishna that the Brahmanas, they actually rejected that, will not give any prasad to you. But the Brahman Patnis, they did not think of anything. Correct? What the Brahmanas will say, the fire sacrifice was going on. The Brahmanas were performing sacrifice, but the Brahman Patnis did not care for that. And when they heard that Krishna is he wants food, they immediately gave all food. Correct? So that is the importance. That's why hearing is the most important process in Navavidha Bhakti. Okay. And Prahlad Maharaj, he heard Srimad Bhagavatam in the womb of his mother. Correct? And he became a great devotee of the Lord. So hearing is very, very, very important process, right? Anything else, if you would like to share about hearing, we can. Otherwise, we'll go to the next shloka. Any example, if it is coming into your mind. Otherwise, we'll go to the next.
Mataji, I can only remember Radhanath Swami Maharaj's book. I've read that book twice, and how he was like wandering around, and then he kept hearing those chants of the Hare Krishna Mavana, even when he was by the Yamuna water, and he was taken away in the flood and all. So that comes to my mind.
Yes, yes. And ultimately, he reached to
Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada, right? Very nice.
Mataji, can you say something about this? There's another word here in this purport, Paramahamsa. Could you say something
Yeah.
more about?
Paramahamsa, it is a Paramahamsa is a pure devotee and never attracted by Hatha Yoga or speculative knowledge. Correct?
So in this, like all the initiating gurus like Radhanath Swami Maharaj, all these we can call them Paramahamsas.
Yes, yes. Because they have reached the platform of Shuddha Bhakti, na?
Okay,
So we
okay.
can call them as Paramahamsas. And we one more thing is, we have to take shelter of such Paramahamsas or pure devotees of the Lord. Correct? So that we can perfect our lives following in their footsteps, taking shelter of them. Because these Paramahamsas, they are the or spiritual masters, they are the connection between us and the Lord. We cannot directly approach the Lord, but we have to approach the Lord through his pure devotees. Correct? So they are the persons through whom we can approach the Lord. We can they make us qualified. Like Prabhupada said to his disciples, the disciples asked him, "Na, what was our qualification?" So Prabhupada said, "You had no qualification. I made you qualified." Right? So such
Mataji,
Paramahamsas, such
then
pure.
you can tell the 12 Mahajans, Mataji, as Paramahamsas. Narad
Uh,
Muni, Kapila Dev, so many other, Bali Maharaj.
yes, Mataji, because Paramahamsas, they are kind of liberated souls, na Mataji? they have reached the perfection of their lives, right? So we have to take shelter of them so that we also have that hope that Krishna will accept us, right? Yes. So these Paramahamsas, they are so compassionate. Like just a small story I remembered just now. I heard in one lecture that yesterday Mataji, you said na, that Mataji was sharing Ajamil story. So how Ajamil got liberated? I mean, uh, he performed so many sinful activities in his life, but because of mercy of Paramahamsa, we can say, there is a story that Lomas Rishi, uh, a great sage, he great sages, they are very compassionate and they want to, liberate people, most sinful people. So he came to Ajamil's house, and he actually asked for some alms. Okay. So Ajamil's condition was very bad because he was already old. He had 10 children. The newborn, 10th baby was just born, and no food to eat properly. Nothing was, the clothes were torn. That was the condition of his house. And so his wife said, I cannot give you anything because we don't have anything. So such great sages, they are so merciful that he said, okay, if you cannot give me anything, just give me one this thing commitment that you will keep the name of your child as Narayan. Okay, and that's how they followed that instruction. Basically, Ajamila followed that instruction, and he kept the name of his son as Narayan. And we know that the he was very fond of his the last child, 10th child, and he no always used to take his names. Narayan, come here. Narayan, sit with me. Narayan, speak to me, like that. No? So he was so much attached to that 10th son, and because he took the name of Narayana so many times, when he actually left his body, Vishnu Tutas came for him. Correct? So he was not doing it intentionally. That is also one thing. But just chanting the names unintentionally also gives such a great effect. Then, if we really try and we do attentive chanting, the Lord is always ready to welcome us. Correct. He is standing and he is waiting for us when we come, when we go back to him. So if we really endeavor and if we take shelter of pure devotees, as I said, spiritual master or Paramahamsa, then they are definitely through their medium, the Lord is eager to welcome us to the spiritual world. Okay. So let us go to the next verse. Who wants to recite?
After you, Mataji, I can try.
Okay. एवं सवीरप्रवरः
एवं सवीरप्रवरः
संयोजात्मानमात्मनि
संयोज्यात्मानम् आत्मनि
ब्रह्मभूतो दृढं काले
ब्रह्मभूतो दृढं काले
तत्याज स्वं कलेवरम्.
तत्याजस्वं कलेवरम्.
Yes.
Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mahaprabhuji.
The dot on the M is that does that the sound of the pronunciation, Mataji, is that sai or sam, Mataji? Is it sai? Is it?
Dot is normal, Prabhuji. Which
Okay.
swam?
No, sai. You pronounce it as sayojyatmanam atmani.
Yeah.
So is it some or sai, Mataji? Because I don't know Sanskrit. So
Yeah. Prabhuji, actually, I mean, their language ka is also there, that samyoja, when we should pronounce it as some and when should we pronounce it as sun. Okay.
okay.
But generally, Prabhupada has not told us to go into details of the language,
Okay.
because there are other reciters who actually emphasize on these details of pronunciation. Correct? But we are just focusing on, we should be able to read the shloka. Okay, we are not focusing on these details, language details, you can say, grammar details. Okay, Prabhuji?
Yeah, thank you, Mataji.
Yes. Yes. Yes, Mataji, you can. Anybody wants to read? Mataji, you can read the translation. If anybody wants to read the purport, otherwise you only can read.
Okay, I can't see the translation.
You can? You cannot?
Yeah, now I can. Yeah, I can. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In due course of time, when Prithu Maharaja was to give up his body, he fixed his mind firmly upon the lotus feet of Krishna, and thus, completely situated on the Brahma Bhuta platform, he gave up the material body. Any devotee wants to read the purport?
Anyone wants to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji, may
Yes, Prabhuji.
pranams Mataji, Hare Krishna. Purport by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. According to a Bengali proverb, whatever spiritual progress one makes in life will be tested at the time of death. In Bhagavad Gita 8.6, it is also confirmed. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajachyante kalavaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. Those who are practicing Krishna consciousness know that their examination will be held at the time of death. If one can remember Krishna at death, he is immediately transferred to Goloka Vrindavana or Krishna Loka, and thus his life becomes successful. Prithu Maharaja, by the grace of Krishna, could understand that the end of his life was near, and thus he became very jubilant and proceeded to completely give up his body on the Brahma Bhuta stage by practicing the yoga process. It is thoroughly described in the following verses how one can voluntarily give up this body and return home back to Godhead. The yogic process practiced by Prithu Maharaja at the time of death accelerates the giving up of this body while one is in sound health, physically and mentally. Every devotee desires to give up the body while it is sound physically and mentally. This desire was also expressed by King Kulashekara in his Mukundamala Stotra. Shall I continue, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Krishna Dvaitaya. One second, Mataji. Krishna Todija Pada Pankaja Panjarantam Adyaiva me Vishatu Manasa Raja Hamsaha Prana Samaye Kapavata Pittaihi Kantavarodana Vidhau Smaranam Kutaste. And I read that sloka in from Kannada version, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, it is correct. Very
King,
nice.
because this is known language for me, it is difficult
Yes.
for me to pronounce.
It becomes easy.
Mataji.
Yeah, that's smart.
No, I also feel na, if it is Devanagari, English, I also feel little, it becomes difficult for me to read.
Yeah. King Kulashekara wanted to give up his body while in a healthy state, and he thus prayed to Krishna to let him die immediately while he was in good health and while his mind was sound. When a man dies, he is generally overpowered by mucus and bile, and thus he chokes. Since it is very difficult to vibrate any sound while choking, it is simply by Krishna's grace that one can chant Hare Krishna at the time of death. However, by situating oneself in the Muktasana position, A yogi can immediately give up his body and go to whatever planet he desires. A perfect yogi can give up his body whenever he desires through the practice of yoga. Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, one point here is, once life, spiritual progress one makes in life will be tested at the time of death. Correct? So we always say that how can we remember Krishna at the time of death? Unless and until we practice the whole life, it is very difficult for us to remember Krishna at the time of death. That's why it is hammered. I mean, it is repeatedly said again and again that you have to, you try to keep yourself 24 hours Krishna conscious, because we don't know death will come at what moment. Nowadays, so it is, I mean, such shocking news we hear that a heart attack and the person is gone the next moment. I mean, the previous day we have met that person and the next day the person is no more. So it has become so difficult. So it is always recommended that you always try to remember Krishna. But we don't have that qualification. We have to pray to Krishna to have mercy on us so that we can remember. Correct? Because the switch is in his hand. Correct? Whether we can remember him at the time of death or not, right? So we can just pray to him that please have mercy so that we can remember you at the time of death. And only by his grace we can remember. We can remember him. So the devotee is always grateful to the Lord and always in a prayerful mood that please have mercy. So Akrura's example is there when when Kamsa ordered him to bring Krishna and Balram to Mathura. Akrura was going to Mathura, and he is a great devotee. But what his feeling was that I'm not at all qualified to take darshan of Lord. Correct? And I am associate of sinful Kamsa. So how Kamsa has favored me and now I will be getting. But really, am I qualified or not? That's what his thought process was. And if we would have been in his place, then we might think that no, just from Mathura, we have to go to Vrindavan and Lord will be there. We just have to take his darshan. That's it. Correct? I mean, will get darshan. But this thing is, his mood is different and he is seriously questioning the probability of his meeting Krishna. So he is describing his disqualification and also qualification of Lord, that he is so merciful. And because Lord is merciful, he has chance that he will get darshan of Lord. That is the mood of Akrura. So we have to be in prayerful mood that Lord's mercy is the real qualification, and our qualification doesn't matter at all, but only Lord's mercy can save us from this material world. There is a small story. Sri Vaishnav Sampraday's acharyas, they were walking through the forest, and a hunter had captured some rabbits, and he had kept them in his controlled area. And those rabbits, they were coming again and again, and they were touching his feet. Okay. So after some time, what happened is that hunter's heart melted, and he left all the rabbits in the forest again. Okay. So, so then when these acharyas, they were walking, and when one of the acharyas, he saw that, he started crying. And the other devotees, they asked him, what happened? Why are you crying so profusely? So he said, see, this hunter is by nature, his heart is so cruel he catches animals and he mercilessly kills them. But these animals, these rabbits, when they came to his feet, they're trying to appeal in their own way, then the hunter's heart got melted and he released them. So this is the condition of a cruel person, but Lord is by nature so merciful. So if we take shelter at his lotus feet, why will he not give us shelter? Right? So that is the hope. And so this Acharya, he was crying that, see, the hard-hearted person also, his heart melted. So Lord is ready. He is calling us. He is eagerly waiting for us. So if we just approach him, how his mercy will flow to us. No, we cannot see. So that is the only hope for devotees. And then the other point is yam yam vapi smaran bhavam syajat kyante kalevaram. So we know that the whole life, we have to spend the whole life for developing attraction for the Lord. And as I said, hearing is the very important process for that. Primarily, this attraction is developed by hearing. How people get attracted to things, material things, that how do we know that we have to go to school, we have to go to this college, we have to search for a job, then we have to buy a house, we have to get married, we have to have children. How people come to know all these things? Because parents are telling them, isn't it? Parents, other society people are telling them, and by hearing only they are doing all those things. Otherwise, it is not possible, correct? So based on Shravanam only, we develop attractions for things in this world. Like, for example, any sport, right? So by hearing only, when we were small, we were not knowing anything about, say, cricket, right? But by hearing from the people around us, we started understanding that game, and then gradually we developed attraction for that game. Now cricket match is there, India Pakistan. I know the roads are deserted. All people are watching the match, correct? So by hearing, that is the importance of hearing. So Lord is such a attractive. Krishna, the name itself is the most attractive. So when we hear the glories of the Lord, won't we get attracted to him? Isn't it? So that's why the Shravanam will make us mad after Lord, or make us attracted to the Lord. And that's why Shravanam is very important. And we have to keep hearing so that we can prepare ourselves for our final exam, that is death. And we don't know, it can come at any moment. This moment we are there, next moment we don't know what will happen. So every moment we should try to remember remember the Lord, and we should pray to him that please have mercy, so that we can remember you at the time of death, because that will decide our final destination, next destination, we can say, isn't it? And then one more point is Prithu Maharaj, he was situated on Brahma Bhuta stage, correct? So no hankering, no lamentation, and then the moment he got to know that death is nearing, then he prepared himself to quit his body. Hmm? So, and Prabhupada is mentioning a very beautiful shloka by Kula Shekhar in Mukundamala Stotra, that everyone wants to leave his body in a healthy and sound state. Correct? But why? Yeah. So, why it is? So that Kulashekar says that in sound and healthy state, I can remember you. So let me die immediately. Correct? So that when I become old, or when when a man dies, he is generally overpowered by mucus and bile, and thus he chokes. And so, since it is very difficult to vibrate any sound while choking, it is simply by Krishna's grace, then one can chant. Correct? On our own, we are not able, because if we are no overpowered by these things, then we cannot chant. We don't know in what mental state we will have, and we'll be able to chant or not. So he is praying that please take me right now when I am in good health conditions. Correct? So and some devotees say that whatever condition it may be, just have mercy, that so that we will remember you. Okay, so some devotees pray that no, take us when we are in good mental health, and some say that whatever condition it may be, just have mercy so that we can remember you. So both the things are correct. Both the things are correct. We can say both are different expressions by different devotees. So just one thing. Krishna mentions that this body is like a machine. Yantra Rudani Maya. Huh? So, yeah, I mean, it is just expression. And sometimes we see that here one sentence is given that Prithu Maharaj accelerates the giving up of his body. Correct? So that means he has, he understood that he is nearing death, and so he is now accelerating, giving up his body. Hmm? So this accelerating is we cannot compare it with committing suicide or something. Suicide is a very no, it is a material thing. But here, what is the goal of Prithu Maharaj? He is eager to go back home, back to Godhead. Correct? So this is a suicide is a completely material thing, and it will be against the will of the Lord. But here, Prithu Maharaj is going towards Lord. He is not going away from the Lord, and he is quitting body. So that is glory. That is glorified. The passing away of Prithu Maharaj, going back home, is glorified, because he is he is going to attain perfection. Yes. Yeah, and he is planning in such a way that he can remember Lord, and then and so he is accelerating his death, because now, I mean, he has performed all his duties in an exemplary way, correct? And now he has enthroned his son also, and he has fulfilled everything. So now he is retiring, and he is planning, and while remembering, he is quitting his body. That's why his death is glorious. Yes. So that's all. Yes. That's all for today. If anybody has any comments, or if you want to say something.
Hare Krishna Mataji, very
Yes.
small Mataji,
Yes.
while leaving our body,
Hmm.
memory of this Supreme Lord
Hmm.
is not so easy, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, because 2 days back I have been to my native.
Okay.
My mother-in-law, she is 80 plus, 90 plus.
Okay.
Mataji,
Yes, Prabhuji.
she requested her to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Okay.
Since last 2-3 years, as and when go there, I used to say, and I will sit beside her, and I used to say, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare. While I am there. She
Huh?
will try. She will try her best.
Acha.
As and when I leave, no,
Hmm.
she can't. Sometimes I used to ask her, have you chanted Hare Krishna mantra? ನನಗೆ ಮರ್ತೋಗಿದೆ. So I have forgotten. See, the remembrance is not so easy, Mataji.
Not easy, Prabhuji.
Not easy, no easy.
That's why it is said that you have to practice it your whole life.
Yes,
Then
Mataji.
also at the time of death, we don't know, I mean, in which condition you are. Like if you are
Yes.
suffering from a disease,
Yes. It is
correct?
a great big task, Mataji.
Correct.
Big
So
task.
it is a, but Prabhuji, one thing is that definitely devotees, devotees help us to remember Krishna at the time of death. Correct? So surrounding, I mean, devotees performing kirtan or Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that machine is there. So we can continuously, continuously keep that mantra on. So
Okay.
we can,
A device.
yes, we can do such things because see, ultimately it is Krishna's mercy on us, whether, I mean, we remember and we leave our body, correct? But Krishna says, na, ki, Krishna sees our efforts, right? So if the whole life we have spent in remembering Krishna in devotional service, in all, no, following all the things of this bhakti yoga, then Krishna definitely will take care, that at the end of, I mean, at that last moment, we will remember him. Okay,
So,
we are
Mataji,
sincere and serious in our efforts throughout our life, even though we may not be able to take his name, correct? But definitely he will be there for us.
so I have to plan this. Yes, because I am nearer. So I have to plan this.
Don't say like that.
Yes, Mataji, you believe it?
It is not like that you are near
I'm
or
not,
we are.
not like in
It
the
is
age
not
factor.
like
I
that.
am in the age factor. I am telling you.
Yeah,
I
age
while
factor.
before chanting, I used to pray the Supreme Lord. If you want to take me, I ask better to take now alone. This is the right time for me to leave. Or otherwise, don't disturb in between that where I am sitting talking somewhere else nonsense things. You please don't give opportunity to die. So better to take now alone. This is my prayer. Regularly I used to pray. Uh, So to what extent I will succeed, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is not possible for me to share with you all. Oh, shall we see, Mataji, Hare Krishna? I will make my own arrangement as by keeping a device to hear this Mahamantra always in that.
Yes,
Yes, thank
Prabhuji.
you,
Prabhuji,
Mataji.
we can do whatever I mean, whatever in our hands, right?
Yes, I do agree.
And that's
So,
why, Prabhuji, somebody is sick or somebody is suffering from any disease, then generally devotees go and they do chant there, they do kirtan there, they do read there, the Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. So why do we do all these things? Correct? Just to support that person to remember Krishna, even though he is not able to utter or he is not able to say anything, but consciousness we just want to maintain, Prabhuji. That is the main thing. Even if you are not able to say it aloud, but your consciousness, no, though the consciousness is we have to cultivate and throughout
yes,
our life.
yes,
Suddenly it doesn't come that we all
of
know,
course.
we have understood that
Yeah,
perfectly.
100%.
That
Yes,
just for
100%, Mataji.
not just for 2-3 days or few
No,
months,
not
if we
possible.
are doing, so it will not come because our old habits, they
Yes.
are so deep rooted in our heart
Yes,
that
Mataji.
when they come on surface, we sometimes we don't come to know also ki how come no I suddenly remember this. Correct?
Yes,
So
Mataji.
we have to just sincerely keep practicing. That
Uh,
is the only solution, Prabhuji.
One thing, Mataji,
Yes.
only by the grace of Supreme Lord,
Yes,
we
Prabhuji.
can able to chant Mataji.
Yes.
However, it is highly impossible. You believe it or not, I preliminary they have told me to chant one round, and they have increased to four. I myself decided why 4, it is better to be 16. I myself determined. So right from that, from taking that vow till today, I am not missing even a single day chanting of this. So it is possible, not for my own efforts. To be
Yes.
frank with you, I am zero, big zero,
Yes,
only by the
Prabhuji,
grace of.
we all are zeros. When
Mm.
we put Krishna in front of all these zeros,
Oh.
then it becomes it gets a great value then. Correct?
Really, really, Mataji, I do agree. Yes, your kind self has given another mm, this device to be in the consciousness. Yes, I will go for that also. Yes, definitely it will help me. Okay, thank you, Mataji. I
Yes.
am grateful to you, Mataji. Sorry, I have taken much time.
No, thank you,
Please,
Prabhuji,
Hare
for
Krishna, Mataji.
sharing your
Hare
thoughts
Krishna.
and yes, we are inspired by you always.
No, Mataji, not. I am. I myself. Once again, I am repeating you. Only because of His grace. Only it is possible to chant Hare Krishna. As per my knowledge goes.
Yes,
If I
Prabhuji.
chant today, that is the grace.
Correct.
This is my
Prabhuji,
request.
this is very true because of mercy
Or
only
otherwise, it is not possible,
it's not
Mataji.
possible.
Even you told now that my mother-in-laws, my uncle, I told him my uncle was almost deathbed. I have been to see him. I told him, doctor has told you that you are leaving this body. Don't worry, you will take another body. Just chant. Seated beside him hours together by chanting. So of course I left from more time. His daughter was accompanying her. Then he told I told her to at least tell him as and when remind him what Anna has told to do. I,
Prabhuji, he will definitely get Sukruti because you sat there and you chanted, isn't it, Prabhuji?
yeah, of course I had done that.
So he will definitely get Sukruti. And the next destination, definitely he will get higher destination, we can say.
My
Right?
uncle, my
Very
father's
favorable,
brother.
so that he can practice Krishna consciousness, right?
At least,
Yes.
maybe we can.
We can pray like that.
Nice, yes, Mataji.
And
Yes.
that's why we have to create an environment, Prabhuji, that is in our hand. Now, other
Yes.
devotees. Why we say association is so important? Because if we cannot do anything on our own, something like as I said, ki if we are in a diseased condition and we cannot, say a word, then at least the devotees, they pray for us and they do kirtan for us, they do chanting for us, right?
Yes, Mataji.
So that is very important. And that's why association is very important. As we say that by serving Vaishnavas only. So yesterday only I was hearing a lecture and that Mataji very beautifully said that when we pray to Krishna, Krishna just listens. Okay, but when some devotee prays for us, then Krishna acts.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why it is said that no, that's why we always tell devotees that please pray for me so that I can do this, or no, please pray for me so that I can do this service properly, right? So
Yes.
that prayers are very important, and the devotees prayers of pure devotees are very important, correct? So Krishna listens to them, Krishna takes action on them immediately, right?
Yes,
So
Mataji.
we should
Yes,
have
Mataji.
that much faith, and that's why in such situations, na Prabhuji, you can call temple people. Brahmacharis also they do come and they do kirtan and all there, Prabhuji.
Okay, Mataji. Okay.
So that the consciousness of the soul, it should I mean it he should remain Krishna conscious. That is the main thing behind that, Prabhuji.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji.
Well, the thing is, if I am not entering to the Krishna consciousness, definitely I will see that WhatsApp or TV and also useless talks. Really, I have no time at all. I have no time to hear, see, even I am not seeing newspaper, news channel, nothing else. I always in Krishna, Krishna, and then hearing classes, and then chanting. So other
You are
than that, I have no business.
you are amazing. You are, I mean, really,
No,
you are dedicating whole day to Krishna, Prabhuji.
yes,
That is
Mataji, I have
really
only
amazing.
one day, if I go for working that day, that too particularly between 12 to 6, that is a major big problem for me. Or otherwise, in rest of the time is for Krishna only.
It is
So
not so easy to engage to such extent, isn't it? Because so much other things come up and we are stuck in that, and then no, it is not it is very difficult. That's why it is said, na, 24 hours absorption is not an easy thing. So what we can do is gradually practice,
Mataji,
practice.
that will happen only by His grace.
Yes, Prabhuji, that is
If not, it is not
your
possible,
your
Mataji.
desire and His grace.
Yes,
That is,
yes, I do agree, Mataji. That
we should have desire. Unless
yes.
and until we have desire, nothing will happen.
Ah,
And unless and until His grace, that's why mercy and endeavor.
yes,
On
Mataji.
two
Yes,
fingers, Damodar
yes,
Lila. We
yes,
should
yes,
always remember those two fingers, that
yes,
His mercy is required and our endeavors. When He
yes.
sees our sincere endeavors, definitely He showers His mercy.
I do
And
agree,
we get
Mataji.
realizations in
Yes,
small
I
things
do.
also. No, sometimes we do get realizations. Yeah, this happened, no, because of His mercy only. And
Yes.
I said I have some desire that I want to do this, and it happens because of His mercy, right?
Hare Krishna Mataji, if you go on talking, this is already 9:30.
Yes,
You have
yes,
crossed 30 minutes extra. Sorry.
We are here
Other
to listen your conversation, Mataji and Prabhuji. So no worries at all.
Prabhuji, have you taken food? Not yet. You will
No,
curse
not
me.
yet, Prabhu. Not yet.
You
No,
go
no,
and take.
no.
no, we will stop
No,
now. It's
no,
okay.
I have no. You believe it or not? If you talk, if you sit with me to talking regarding Krishna, I will be sit for up to 12 or 2. So that is that is my condition.
That should
Sorry.
be the enthusiasm, Prabhuji. 24 hours we should be able to glorify. We should be
We are
able
pleased to hear from you, Prabhuji and Mataji. So no issues at all.
Oh, sorry, Prabhuji. Shall we keep little bit pending for tomorrow? Thank you, Method. I am not well versed in this English language. Just I can to communicate to nearer to your understanding. So sorry.
Nahi, Prabhuji, you are expressing very nicely. Thank you so much. We'll stop here.
Please, Mataji.
सर्वभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां
तानां
पावनेभ्यो
पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय।
Thank you so much,
ग्रंथराज
everybody.
भागवतम की
Shri
जय।
Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam.
भागवतम की जय।
Thank you so much for
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
yes, thank
Thank
you.
you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam. I'll end the session.
Please,
Krishna
Mataji,
Mataji.
please.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank you.